Hey everyone, welcome to Steph and Key TV. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps our channel. And let me know what you thought of today's video in the comments below. All right, Potomac, let's get into it. So we are back for season 6. We are back with Potomac. Potomac's been hyped for so long. I did not get on the Potomac train until last year, right before season 5. Whew. And I know that a lot of people have hyped Potomac up to be like better than Atlanta, which is like the #1 rated housewife show on Bravo. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm sorry, but like I feel like Potomac's only been on for 5 seasons. This is its 6th season. It's been on for 5 seasons. I would give it about a good 3 seasons out of those 5 seasons. The first 2 were like all right, because I had to binge watch them to catch up to be ready for season 5, and I feel like, yeah, the first 2 seasons were all right. They had 3 really good seasons, and that just does not compare to all of Atlanta, no way, shape, or form. So right now for me, Potomac is good, but it's not Atlanta, and I don't think it could be, but it's gonna take a while for me to come there. But anyways, we open up with the ladies doing the confessionals. The producers ask them in one word, how would they describe last season? And whew, I think, yeah, Giselle says toxic, and I would have to agree because we get flashbacks of the fight. We get flashbacks of Ashley and Candace, Giselle's hot mess of a life, and it was very toxic last season. Not just on the show, but the fan base was so toxic last season. Yeah, so we're gonna, hopefully this season we can all like just be like decent human beings. I doubt it because we see how Beverly Hills is going right now. So let me stop rambling, but like let's get into season 6. So we open up with Miss Wendy. She is doing the silhouette challenge. Girl. To invite the ladies to her nude interlude party. So they're supposed to wear nude, and that's the theme, to be like their sexy selves. I never thought of nude coloring as sexy, but okay. She does like a little silhouette challenge to invite the ladies, like a video to invite the ladies to her party. I'm just like, we did not need this at all. Eddie, he fries her with about her kitten heels, and she was like doing the dance all stiff. I was like, Lindy, come on. So then we move over to Giselle's house. The shady editors at Bravo put Giselle's west wing of her. The house is not that big to have a west wing, but they put that in there, and she, like, her daughters are calling her in the house to ask her like what's for lunch, and she's like, when are y'all gonna make your own lunch? And they're like, aren't they in high school? I know the oldest one has to be in high school. Go downstairs and make your own lunch. So she hangs up on her, rightfully so. Then we move over to Miss Grand Dame. She is watering her plants, and I'm like, girl, like, I'm sorry, but none of us believe that Karen is a plant mom. Like, I love Karen, but I'm not believing that she's been watering those plants every day. No, I'm not believing that at all. The Grand Dame is too fancy for that, and we know it. We head over to Robin and Juan. They are building a new house, so I'm guessing that their tax problems are all solved, and they've got the money. She must be rolling in the money from those hats because she is building a new house with Juan. He looks not as excited as she is. Then we move over to Candace, and the editors are shady again. They put in Candace's old town house. They put Candace / Dorothy's old house. Sold. She sold it for like $800,000, and now we get over to her new house. It's beautiful. I think last year they said that they moved to Bowie. Like, Bowie is a nice part of Maryland, so I'm not surprised that they were able to find like a nice house. It is beautiful. It's big. It's 10,000 square feet. It looks lovely. I'm happy for her. And maybe people will leave her alone now about it. I doubt it, because now we head over to Ashley's place. She's about ready to pop. That baby is ready to come out. Michael comes home. Ashley is trying to sell us on the fact that Michael is this wonderful, amazing father. Girl, we saw last season when he Like when you try to go on a girls trip and he's like, you taking the baby with you, aren't you? And when the nanny was at home with the baby when you went on another trip and Michael wasn't there on time, he came home super late. So girl, stop trying to sell us on Michael. It's not gonna happen. Stop trying to make fetch happen. We get a flashback of like when Ashley tried to see her birth father and he slammed the door in her face in front of the cameras. And so she's just like, she doesn't know what it's like to have a father. So what she views Michael as being there for Dean is like this amazing father. And I'm like, it ain't that, girl. I understand, like, she doesn't know what it's like to have a father. So Michael is all she has reference to as far as like him being there for Dean. And she tries to tell us like Dean is her favorite. Like, I feel like every time the ladies dote on their husbands, the shady editors have always find clips to make us to contradict it. So like she's like, Michael is Dean's favorite, and like as soon as Michael got home, he wanted nothing to do with him. He kept running away from him, and it was just like hilarious because I'm like, every time you like ladies brag about how wonderful your husbands are, like I feel like the editors are always trying to find ways to contradict everything they're saying. And so like they're having a little family time. Ashley and Michael haven't had sex in 4 months, and she says they're doing things differently now, which to me feels like they just have people sign NDAs and they're a lot more discreet about Michael's messy ass. Because I highly doubt he's waiting for you for 4 months when he couldn't do it last year. Like, girl, stop. Stop. Like, I feel like people always try to give, like, Ashley credit because she's so honest about her relationship. She's as honest as she wants to be about her relationship. Let's be clear about that. There are so many things that she has not been honest about when it comes to her and Michael, and we know it. And because it keeps getting, like, there's dirt and trash that keeps getting revealed. So, like, ugh, whatever. That grossness. Gross. So Giselle comes over to Candace's new place. We get to meet Candace's stepchildren, Naya and Mateo. Those are Chris's 2 kids. I believe he has a third one. I think, yeah, that wants no contact with him. I think that's what we heard, like, when Candace first came on. But these are his 2 children from his second baby mama, I guess. I don't know what these folks. Candace, what are you doing? This man. But his children are lovely. And Naya is like the youngest, and she's so shy and sweet. Giselle, of course, has to throw shade at Candace's new place, saying that she finally has her own place. She finally got away from her mama. Her mom's not paying her place anymore. And it's like, Giselle, stop. Like, I just highly doubt that when Giselle has, like, when her daughters are older, that Giselle's not going to help them buy a place and not going to help take care of them. I mean, like, those are your kids. If you have the money, this is what rich people do. They take care of their kids. They get them into jobs, nepotism. Like, they find all these ways to give them a leg up over the rest of us. So, like, I just don't understand, like, why it's such a big deal for Candace. I don't know. Like, we have some issues in the Black community that we need to work through. However, Dorothy has like her own room and a life-size version, cut out version of herself in that room. Why? Like, this woman is weird. She's so weird. I'd be like, no. Like, I feel like it's fine to have your own room. That house is big enough for Dorothy to have her own room when she comes to visit. But no life-size version of you chilling in there. No. Crazy. I do love the kitchen. The kitchen is beautiful. They go into the living room and sit on this big ass massive couch, and they're talking, just talking about like what's been going on. Chris comes in, says hi. Giselle asks for some snacks. He rolls his eyes and brings back some easy cut up fruit. Here you go. And she just asked like what Chris has been doing because he used to work at the restaurant, but because of the pandemic, he's not working there. So he's doing online classes. I forgot what else she said. And then she said he plays golf. I'm like, okay, that's not a job, but okay. I guess like the online classes are keeping him afloat for now. And then Candace asked Giselle how things have been going with her and Jamal. And of course, they're not going great. And Giselle tries to blame it on the pandemic. And we're like, girl, we know the real reason. So Candace is trying to say, like, all that you've been through, you know each other so well. You don't really want to start all over again. And I'm like, I'd rather start all over again and then to be with a man who all he does is cheat on me. And Giselle does say, like, maybe I should be by myself for a while. And I'm like, girl, you should have been by yourself. But you tried to bring this fake storyline with you and Jamal, and it backfired horribly. Finally, in Candace's confessional, she's like, I wonder if that public embarrassment is the reason why they're breaking up. And duh. Like, duh. And then, of course, they flash back to the reunion when Monique and Karen eviscerated, like, Giselle. It was, yeah. Girl, there's no coming back from that. There's not. And there's just more rumors coming out about him. So that is the reason why they are breaking up. Candace and Giselle start going in on Karen. Candace is still mad. I feel like Karen was in a hard place. She was friends with both Monique and Candace. And some of us fans were in the same hard place. We liked both Monique and Candace. Some of us fans, I will say. I was one of them. I liked Monique and Candace. It was hard to watch them fight, and it was hard to pick sides because I didn't want to completely abandon Monique. I liked Monique, but I did feel like what she did was wrong. However, I do feel like Candace is probably more so upset that the fact that Karen went to HR to complain about a text that Candace sent her, and she was probably going to hold on to that for a while. Hopefully not too long, because I much rather see Candace and Karen be friends than Candace and Giselle. I'm like, girl, you've had one falling out with Karen. You know how many times Giselle has, like, backstabbed you and, like, treated you like crap to your face? Go on, but fine, you won't be friends with her, go ahead and be friends with her. So Karen is cleaning out her closet, trying to find her wedding dress. So she wants to give, like, a piece of it, of the wedding dress, to Raven so she can use it for her wedding dress in the future. And her and Ray are talking about the vow renewal. She wants to do it big and better, and Ray wants it small. You know that's never going to happen, Ray. Karen's nervous about the vow renewal curse for the Real Housewives, as she should be, but Raven gave it a new name. So nice, we had to do it twice. And I'm like, girl, no matter what you call it, it's still a vow renewal, and I would be weary if I were you. We head back over to Candace's place. Her and Giselle are just talking about Karen. Giselle's pissed because she feels like Karen lied about her relationship all last season, and she feels like she didn't do anything to Karen. I'm like, girl, this is... We have seasons of proof of you tormenting Karen. Like, stop it. And so, like, I'm like, what lies? What did Karen lie about as far as your relationship? Because all of it's out there. Please tell me what she lied about. So her and Candace are plotting, and I feel like Karen is just like, I'm done with Giselle. She's misdirecting her anger. She needs to be mad at the man who hurt her and not me. And I agree. And then all of the ladies get Wendy's silhouette nude interlude challenge video. And Karen and Ray are looking at it together, and he's like, where are my glasses so I can watch that again? And Karen's like, nope, I'm deleting it. You don't need to see Wendy that close. And Ashley is watching it, and she tells Dean, oh, Dean, don't look at this, close your eyes. And he closes his eyes, his little cute self. I thought that was so cute. And so the ladies are excited to see Wendy sexing it up in her little kitten heels. So we're with Wendy, and she's at the plastic surgeon. She got her boobies done, and the producer asked her if she's had anything else done, and she said, no, I would tell you, and gives a little wink. And it's like, girl, the doctor was pointing towards her abs, like her stomach, and talking about that healing nicely. He was not talking about your boobs. So, like, we know that you got, like, a tummy tuck or some lipo or something. You got more that done than just your boobs. So just admit it. Like, he's pointing stuff out. It'd be different if they didn't show that part. You're caught. So Robin and Juan head to a juice bar. The producers once again ask them about this damn wedding. Why is Robin here? Just for you guys to ask her when she's getting married to Juan every season? Otherwise, like, what has been her storyline ever? It's so frustrating that these producers just keep bringing on housewives who do nothing, bring nothing. It's not fair. It's really not. I would be pissed if I was Candace and Monique last season. They carried that season along with Ashley. Ashley brings her messy, disgusting husband every season to carry the season. Otherwise, like, what is the storyline? What is it? So she's talking about, like, a pandemic. We bought a new house. Like, we got the kids are homeschooling, so a wedding is not our first priority. It's never been their first priority. It's never going to be their first priority. So stop asking them. They're never going to get married. Just let it go. They're in this juice bar. Juan starts like just blasting Robin because he says, well, she says like, I know you want us to be healthier, but the kids have been eating Chick-fil-A every day this week, and he's pissed about it. And he's like, yeah, that's not good. He's like, you start your day at 2 p.m. and you just sleep all day. And she's like, well, I need rest. And she's like, maybe you can survive on 4 hours, but I need 9. And he's like, no, not when you got 2 kids. And he's like, it's not attractive, and I want more kids. He's like, I wanted a little girl. We should have had a little girl a long time ago. And it's just like boom, 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 boom. And she keeps trying to like speak up for herself, but it's not happening. And he says like, I want to have more kids, but you can't be sleeping in all day. If we have more kids, I want like a little girl, and I might possibly want girls. And I'm just like, where is this coming from? First, she's not attractive because she sleeps all day and she's feeding your kids Chick-fil-A. And now you want kids? You want her to have more kids? More stress? Like, obviously she's going through something. Like, when people sleep all day and can't get up and just feel exhausted all the time, and she said in her confessional that it's a pandemic, there's nothing to look forward to. The days kind of run together, your kids are at home. It's just a lot. And I really feel like she's going through some depression, which a lot of people did last year, and he's not being sensitive at all. I don't feel like he ever really was sensitive with Robin. Maybe she's just used to him not being sensitive, because she never calls him out on it. Ever. Like, think over the seasons. Like, whenever he's said some horrible stuff about their relationship, she's never called him out. She's always defended him. So maybe, I mean, this is a perfect relationship for them, because he just says whatever and she just goes along with it because she wants to be with him so bad. And it's just kind of sad. I hope that she gets help and seeks therapy, because I don't know how they're trying to have more kids when she's clearly depressed. And I don't know. Juan is whack. He may look good, but he's whack. So Chris and Candace are at home. Chris is making dinner. His kids are adorable. I do feel like Naya does not want to be on camera, like, ever. Because there's plenty of shy kids, but I can't imagine that she just doesn't talk at all. Like, on a normal basis. I feel like she's super shy around the cameras. And it just seems really uncomfortable for her. But, like, the kids, Naya has math homework. Candace is trying to help. She can't do it. So then Mateo has to come in, and he's being the helpful brother. They're so sweet. The producers asked Chris and Candace about more kids. He doesn't seem interested in more kids. I don't know. He just didn't seem that, like, psyched about more kids. He did seem psyched about not using condoms anymore, because I believe they still use condoms, because she says she doesn't trust penises. Candace throws shade because she said her mom said that Candace would be Chris's 4th baby mama. And he's like, no, third. Come on. I'm like, even having a 3rd baby mama, I mean, like, it happens, but I'm like, that's a lot. But it doesn't seem like they're trying to have kids anytime soon, though. I think their plate is full. So everyone's getting ready for the party. Robin's kids are so bad. I can't imagine having 2 boys. Lord, they're a lot. Candace has diarrhea, I guess, because she's going back and forth in the toilet talking about it won't stop coming out. So I don't think she'll be going to the party. Wendy is still getting ready for the party. Everything looks beautiful. She's got titty cupcakes with nipples on them. And so her and Eddie try to see if the boys know what they are. So they get them to, like, get the cupcakes and close their eyes and then open them up. And they're like, what are those? And they're like, chocolate cupcakes. So see, the kids are maintaining their innocence. They don't know about titty cupcakes. They just think it's a regular ass cupcake. Eddie has this medium shirt on. He needs to change his shirt. It's too tight, Eddie. It's too tight. Giselle is the first one to arrive. She complains about how far Wendy lives. She's like, I know Wendy is Nigerian. I didn't know she lived in Nigeria, because it's taking forever to get to her place. Everybody complains about how far it is. So it must be super, super far. I don't blame them, because I hate driving far anywhere. Because I know I'm going to have to drive just as far back home. So I don't blame them. Giselle and Robin are the first ones to arrive to Wendy's party, and they're looking at the name tags, and they see Mia's name, and they're like, I don't know that bitch. Do you know that bitch? And Robin's like, I don't know who Mia is. And I'm like, really, Giselle, already? So shady. So we finally meet Mia, and Mia's Karen's friend, and Mia owns a chain of chiropractic franchises, and so they're friends. Mia's the new girl. Karen asked Wendy when they had lunch if she could invite Mia. Karen told Mia that like Wendy was very welcoming and glad to have her at her party, but when Karen asked Wendy, Wendy was like, ugh, ugh. Not like very excited at all for Karen to bringing a friend to Wendy's party. Wendy is still pissed at Karen for last season. Karen shading her, and she's gonna hold a grudge till the day she dies, it seems like. Because I'm like, Wendy, get over it. Candace called Wendy and said she couldn't come because she has food poisoning. So when Wendy comes downstairs finally to talk to the rest of the ladies, because Ashley gets there, she says that Candace called with food poisoning, but Robin feels like Candace doesn't want to come because she doesn't want to see Karen. And Giselle's like, Candace is not worried about Karen, and I don't think so either. I mean, from what she showed us, she had food poisoning, and I don't think Candace is scared of anyone, especially with that mouth. Ashley tried to she came in rain boots with her big old pregnant belly, and she's trying to change into some heels, and the girls are like, no. Like, she tried to put her heels on. Giselle was trying to help her, and it was like, no, girl, those swollen feet, leave them alone. You are carrying a big baby belly, and you trying to put on some heels with those swollen feet. Leave your feet alone. Leave them alone. So then Giselle asks Wendy, like, who Mia is. She's like, is that your friend? And Wendy's like, no, that's Karen's friend. And Giselle's like, oh, good, because Karen needs friends. And Wendy is like, Giselle, shady till the day she dies. So Karen and Mia finally arrive, and Giselle is giving Karen the side eye the whole time, and she's just like, I want an immediate apology from Karen for how she talked about my family last season. Girl, bye. You're not going to get an apology from Karen. You've been dogging her since day one. She's been dogging you, and that's just how it's going to be. You're not going to get an apology, so let it go. So then we start to learn more about Mia. They're sitting down, just having the drinks. Mia has 3 kids, boy, and girl, and I think 12. I can't remember the ages, but the oldest is 12. And she lives on the Baltimore Harbor. Ashley says, like, I noticed a little southern twang. And she's like, yes, we have a lake house in North Carolina. And I believe Wendy said she's from Durham. And then Mia says, oh, yes, my 4 grandkids live in Durham. And they're like, wait, grandkids? Grandchildren? She has, yes, I have 4. And they're like, wait a minute. So then she says, like, she reveals, okay, like, I have an older husband. He's 38 years older than me. And they're like, Robin's face. You should have seen Robin's face. She was like, which was my face. Like, 38 years older. Ugh. And Ashley's just sitting there smiling like, well, you got me beat. So then Mia says that her husband is 68 and that he's 38 years older. Like, she just said that he's 38 years older than her. So then they're like, what? So they're trying to do the math, and they're like, no, the math ain't mathin'. So then Wendy asks, like, how old are you? And she says she's 36. No, she says she's 38. So they're trying to do the math, and they were like, well, that would make you 30 if he's 38 years older than you. And she was like, no, I'm 36. And so then they were like, okay, the math ain't mathin'. And then finally she's like, I'm 36 and he's 68. So then like, okay, so he's 32 years older. And they're just like, girl, this is like Phaedra all over again when she couldn't get her lie right about how far along she was in her pregnancy. And so Mia's 36. Where? I'm sorry, but no, girl, you are not 36. And that's why you couldn't get the math right. Every woman who's dating an older man, look at these shows, any of these shows can tell you immediately, without pause, without getting the math wrong, how much older their husband is than them, because they know their correct age. The fact that she lied and couldn't get it right, like, after being married to him for, like, how long? Because she's got 12-year-old. So come on, like, at least 12 years. girl, like, you are lying about your age. You should have known immediately. And they're just like, okay, Mia. So Wendy starts going on and on about why she's having this party and the reason for it. And it's just like, Lord, she just goes on and keeps repeating herself. Giselle in her confessional is like, Wendy, land the plane. Get to the point. Finally, Wendy stands up and is like, I want you to meet my new friends. Happiness. So happy and ness. She shows her boobies. And the ladies are like, all right, okay. And then Robin's like, okay, let's see the booty. And she's like, no. And she's like, I just got my boobs done. And they're like, what? Robin's like, You had like nothing before, and now you got a little booty. And they show, the editors are so shady. They show Wendy's flatness, and now she got a little round booty. And so she just said, I got my boobs done and had some tweaks. And they're like, okay, Wendy. And even Karen in her confessional is like, when I went to see her at lunch, her face looked refreshed. So more is going on. So they go and sit down, and Wendy in her confessional is just like, I want the ladies to see more layers to me and see that I'm not just a doctor, I can be fun. Which I hope she is this season. I hope she's a lot more fun, because last season, all we heard from Wendy was her 4 degrees, and that was it. And I feel like if you watch New York, I feel like that's kind of what we're dealing with Ebony right now, just being so serious and about education, and we haven't really got to see much of a lightness from her. And that's what I felt like with Wendy. So hopefully if Ebony comes back, we'll see her like in her second season. She'll be a lot more fun. And I hope the same for Wendy, because last season, I was not a fan. So when they sit down, Mia's like, okay, so like you had your boobs done. Like what else have you had done? And then Wendy gets very defensive and she's like, I had my boobs done and some tweaks. What about you? What have you had done? Because you look like you've had a lot of surgeries. Like, Lord, I'm like, oh my gosh, why is she so defensive? Girl, you know you had more done, so why are you getting so mad at this woman? So Mia is like, has no shame, and she's like I have had plenty of surgery. I have the list because I could not remember it all. She had Botox, she had fillers, she had her lips done. She said she has 4 boobs. I was like, does that mean she got her boobs done twice? So it's like 4 total? She said 4 boobs. She had a tummy tuck, she had abdominoplasty, and she had her ass done. And I was like, damn. But she had no shame in her game, and I was like, good, Wendy, because that's what you get. Sit there and look at a fool because you came for her for no reason. And so then even Wendy is like, okay, well, I haven't had those things that you have done. And I'm just like, Wendy, now I'm starting not to like you again. Because what is the hostility towards this woman? She has not done anything to you. All of the women like wanted to know more stuff that you had done. But then Mia throws in that she's even had her clit done. And everybody's like, what? Ashley was like, say what now? I'm like, dang, girl. And the clit? But I didn't like that Ashley threw shade in her confessionals talking about, like, Mia's clit's been pounded. And I'm like, girl, Ashley, you can never talk about anybody's clit. Nothing about their body. You sleep with that wretched, vile man. Don't talk about another woman's body ever again in your life. No. So we move on from that, and then Karen asks where Candace is, and Wendy lets her know that she had food poisoning, but then Robin, with her big head, jumps in and says, like, I feel like she didn't come because she doesn't want to see you. And Karen's like, well, I can respect that. You know, like, she had a hard season. I'm going to give her space, and hopefully we can come together and move on with our friendship. Ashley's like, well, me and Candace don't get along. I don't know, like, why we needed Ashley to throw that in. And Wendy's just like, well, I hope at some point all of us collectively can get along. And then Giselle has to throw in, well, that can't happen. And Wendy's like, why not? And she's like, well, y'all all know that I can't stand Karen. And Karen's like, well, the feeling's mutual. So then Giselle's just like, I've decided that I'm going to tell your whole truth. And Karen's like, Giselle, you don't want this. Giselle's like, I'm going to tell your drunk truth, your cheating truth. Karen's like, shut up, Giselle, shut up. And she's like, okay, you want to talk about how your fiery box is on fire and that's why you can't keep a man? Karen. She told Giselle not to start this. Mia's like, what's a fiery box? And it kind of reminded me of Kathy from Beverly Hills when she was like, who's Hunky Dory? So Karen's like, yeah, we all know that you have a hot box and tell everybody what's going on between your legs. And everybody's like, oh, So Giselle's like, she's obsessed with my coochie because we all know that her ding dong at home doesn't work. Karen says you will not disrespect my husband just because your ding dong's in every woman around town. And Giselle comes back with, well, at least it works. Giselle, that is not a comeback. Talking about at least it works. No, girl. At least it works for all these other women except for you. Giselle, that is not a comeback ever. You kind of like helped Karen's point. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with these women? And then Karen throws in, you're a broken whore from Hampton University and everybody knows it. Wendy's face was like, not a broken whore from Hampton University. And then she ends with, and that's why we went to Sing Sing. So, and everybody's like, what's Sing Sing? I know Sing Sing as a prison. I don't think, Karen did not mean it that way, because on Watch What Happens Live, she did say that she was referring to the loony bin. Because apparently Giselle, before her and Jamal got married, and he was cheating on her before they even got married and had a baby with someone else, she had a nervous breakdown and went to a mental health facility. So I'm like, oh my God. Damn, Karen. But like, this is what happens when you come for people. Like, they always say it within these Real Housewives franchises. You can't come for people and then get mad when they retaliate. Like, you can't. So Karen warned her. She was like, you don't want this. And that's why. And then she just read her for filth. Because Giselle just wouldn't stop. And Karen ended her. And gosh damn. It ended not well. But that's what we watched for. And that was the first episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 6, episode 1. This was kind of good. I'm sorry, but I feel like nobody trumps the first episode of New Jersey. When Teresa came in this past season and told everybody that Evan was cheating on Jackie at his birthday party, like, nothing tops that. This was good, but like nothing tops that. So I feel like this was good, but hopefully the rest of the season's better, because I really want like a much better season, especially that Monique is gone. These ladies are gonna have to come with a storyline, so we'll see. But let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Please hit that like button. It really helps our channel. And hit that notification bell so you're in the know when I release a new video. And subscribe. I would love to have you a part of Steph and Key TV. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.